Hi and welcome to today's edition of Bounce Back. I hope you're managing to stay safe and well and spending some time reviewing, reflecting and planning and staying positive as we start to look how are we going to implement tennis as and when some of the lift is in place and we can get back on the court. Over the past few days and weeks now, the focus in discussion has always been about professional sport. When is the Premier League going to return? Why is there going to be no cricket this season? But there is nothing out there about amateur sport. It's only about professional sport. And although I understand how big an impact this has on people's lives in terms of viewing, in terms of going to matches, I myself go to football every time there is a home game, season ticket holder, and I go to the matches and I love going to football, but there are many people involved in playing sport. In fact, 15.8 million people are involved in sport every single week. And we seem to be forgetting those and exclusively focusing on the professional players and the professional game. What about the simple, everyday person who wants to play sport? Is that not important for us? Is that not important for the welfare of the country? The economic side, there is over £7 billion spent every year on amateur sport, on facility hire, on equipment, etc. That's a huge hole in the market if we don't actually look at how we're going to get amateur sport back in. The knock-on effect, all the leisure centres now closed, the swimming pools are closed, all these facilities are closed. And if we can't look at how we can reopen these as well, then the knock-on effect in terms of unemployment as well as the decline and lack of facilities is going to impact on the country for a long time. So we have to look at how we're going to get amateur sport back moving again within the guidelines that we have, and hopefully after Sunday's announcement there'll be a little bit more light at the end of the tunnel. But we need to be looking at making sure our sport is safe, and we know tennis is and can be, and we need to be trying to work with government and agencies to try and make sure they are aware of how tennis is safe and how amateur sport has to have a role in this exit strategy. It's not just about professional, and it's not just people wanting to watch. We've been sat inside long enough without now wanting to sit inside even more to watch professional sport. We want to get out and play. So now is time to change the story. Let's try and get more discussion and more interaction about amateur sport. It's in your interest to get this out there. It's in your interest to try and get amateur sport, and specifically in our case tennis, active again as soon as we're practically able. So make the story yours. Think about how can you help to get this story out there. Yesterday I shared a letter. If you wanted to put out to your local MP, get them involved, get them motivated, and let's try and make sure we can change this story. Let's start thinking about all the millions of people that play and enjoy sport every week, and not just the few professionals that play as well. So why not make the story yours? Think about how you can impact, and let's change that story and change it to an amateur sport and not just the professionals. But as ever, in the meantime, please stay well, stay safe, and take care. Cheers.